Hey everyone, happy Tuesday and welcome to another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. So, pretty busy day in the shop here. I started in on this one. I'll come back to that first. Just one note on this one. If you saw the episode yesterday, I was a little bit befuddled because I was showing all the lights and stuff working and the high beam indicator light was not working. Well, that was simply because I had pulled the bulb holder out of the dash. I don't remember why, but it works. It was just the bulb was actually not in the dash, or the whole bulb holder. So once I plugged that in, boom, it worked. Anyway, so I felt a little bit redeemed over that because I knew it was working. But yeah, if you pull it out of the dash, the bulb holder, then it doesn't really work. So that was that. So yeah, I didn't really do anything on this car today, but I just wanted to mention that because I was like, I felt much better after I found that there was a simple explanation. Because, anyhow, so let me talk briefly about the barn door here. So we had a customer or a potential customer visiting earlier. Him and his wife popped by. And I was talking to them around the time Rafa finished up. So usually our routine is at the end of the day when Rafa finishes up, we sit down and we review everything that he did that day. I make notes. And then that way when I go to bill customers, I put very detailed accounts of what happened and the associated hours and stuff. Anyway, so a customer was here, or potential customer was here. And so we didn't have a chance to catch up on what Rafa did today. So we'll do that in the morning. So I don't have as much detail about what he did as I usually do. However, I know that he spent a lot of time, you can see his creeper there, under the bus today. And what he mostly did, I believe, although I'm sure there was more than this, was running the rear brake line. So actually running the long line that goes from the master cylinder up front all the way back, which is kind of a pain on these. Actually, it's a huge pain. And then furthermore, running it off from there to each side to where it can connect to the brake hoses, which in turn go to the axles. And then from the axles, another hard line goes to the wheel cylinders. Anyway, so that's all I really know that he did today. I think there was more happening here, but again, I'll try and go over tomorrow in more detail what he did today if there was a lot more to it than the brake lines. But yeah, it's actually a huge job running these brake lines, that one from the front of the bus to the back. And of course, we like to route things super neat and factory looking, so it's kind of time consuming, more so than if you don't care what it looks like and you just, kind of haphazardly route it. No, we like it to look perfect. So that was at least most of Rafa's day, was getting the brake lines to the back here. So again, if he did something more significant than that, then I'll go over that tomorrow after I catch up with him in the morning. So that was what I know, at least, of his day. So my day, as I mentioned, went ahead and started in on this gorgeous 58 Euro convertible here. European. Dead giveaway is semaphores. So European cars kept semaphores till I think through 61 or so, something like that, early 60s. Whereas in the U.S., they lost semaphores and went to flashing turn signals in late 55. Anyhow, so yeah, super cool car. I like wiring semaphore cars because A, they're usually early cars, and then B, the wiring is even more simple than other early cars because there's no flasher relay and the wiring is just greatly simplified over a car with flashing turn signals. So I like them because they're simple and they're kind of easy to make look very, very neat. And yeah, that was mainly what I did today. So I went ahead and I pulled the front headlights because the wires were just kind of like rolled up here, the headlight harness that runs to those. Ran them through the metal headlight tubes to both sides. And then, of course, I took the headlights off, bench tested the headlights. The city lights, all that stuff. So all that stuff works. So I went ahead and installed those, wired those up. I tested his dome light, which is a little complicated on these. So there's no actual switch on the dome light. On a convertible, the way it works is there are switches on the doors, like a hardtop Beetle. But then in addition to that, because the dome light is way back there, there's actually a little switch under the dash on the driver's side of the column over there, where you can manually turn on the dome light. And then in addition to that, there is a switch right in here where if the top is down, that switch gets depressed, and that actually cuts power to the dome light. And so what that makes sure is that if you have the top and the down position, like folded back, that you can't turn on the dome light and it won't come on, so that you don't potentially like leave it on and not notice it because the top is folded back, and then you drain your battery. Or I suppose it could get hot and the fabric is kind of folded up when the top is down. Anyway, so there is a switch here that cuts power. So anyway, I tested all that. So made sure the power was getting back there, and then dropped the top, make sure the power was getting cut and all that. He did have a switch for it, but he was missing the nut. So I've pretty much had to buy another switch, which is only like $8 or $9 to get the nut that holds the switch to the dash about over there. So yeah, lots of testing of components. He had the wrong headlight switch. He actually had the headlight switch, believe it or not, out of an oval window, which is doesn't really attach to the dash in the same way that one off, like a 58 and up car does. So luckily dug through our stock and found a good working one and tested it and installed that. His wiper mechanism was a bit of a disaster. It looked pretty nice cosmetically. I didn't really do anything to clean it up. However, both wiper shafts were completely frozen, like they wouldn't turn at all. And then his motor, the part that spins in there, was actually hitting the part that surrounds it. Again, I don't know what the names of those parts are. Armature maybe is the part that spins, and it was contacting the stationary piece, whatever that's called. Anyway, so yeah, pretty much a matter of like loosening up the screws and moving that stationary magnet thing, whatever it is, around so that the armature would spin freely in it. So yeah, that, and then the shafts being frozen, took care of all those things. Runs great now, ready to put it back in. I've got the little grommet here, which he was missing, on order. I'll have that tomorrow, and then this will go in, but it's ready. His this, by the way, is the switch for the dome light. So in one position, the dome lights work kind of like normal, in that if you open a door, they come on. The center position is just off no matter what, and then the other position is like manually turning on the dome light. So that's the switch. And again, he's missing the nut, so I ordered another switch because it's kind of a special nut. Anyway, I tested his semaphores. They work great, so those will be going on probably tomorrow. He's also missing the semaphore switch, which luckily you can take a non-semaphore, so like a flashing, a switch made for flashing turn signals, and you pretty much just use 3 of the 6 wires, and then boom, it's a semaphore switch. So that is also showing up tomorrow. And let's take a look under the dash here, because I did finish almost all the wiring under the dash and fairly happy with how it's coming out. So there we go. Yeah, managed to get everything routed pretty nicely, fairly happy with it overall. The only thing was that, and again, somebody had pulled the main harness on here already. And what happened was somehow they didn't pull it like far enough into the front of the car. And I tried to pull it some more, and it came like another few inches, but that was it. But it should have been like another, like beyond what I finally got it, it should have been probably another, I don't know, maybe 4 or 6 inches or so. So what that meant was that part of the harness was too short. And so again, the harness that runs to the back of the car has got the wires for the tail lights, for the
the power for the ignition coil, the brake lights, a bunch of stuff like that that connects mostly to the fuse box here. So they were just too short to reach the fuse box when you route the wire correctly, kind of back there by the back of the dash. So basically, I chopped those off about right here, and I'm gonna extend them all using these little one-to-one connectors here, which are the correct kind of style for a car of this vintage. Anyway, so yeah, I gotta have to extend all these wires. So you can see I already ran new wires to their respective spots on the fuse box and stuff here, and then I've got some more of these little connectors coming in tomorrow. So then it'd just be a matter of like trimming these wires and then connecting them with one of those little terminal blocks back here, and it'll look pretty factory actually when it's done. So not too upset about it. But yeah, sometimes when people work on cars and then we take the cars in, there's things that haven't been done quite right that can make our job a little bit more challenging. But generally speaking, we have a solution that will look pretty clean and not be too noticeable. So yeah, extending those wires was really the only part of this that was a little out of the ordinary. And the rest of it, yeah, looking good. And pretty much, I think other than that switch for the dome light, which goes right there, I gotta wire that in still. And then once I put in his wiper mechanism, I gotta wire it. The switch is right there, already has most of its wires on it. So yeah, I will be probably finishing up the wiring on this car tomorrow. So it's going relatively quickly. Still have to put a battery in it and of course test everything, but pretty sure it's all gonna work nice. So that was pretty much my day on this car. I spent some time going through the boxes of parts here, finding the things I need to do the wiring job and things that I know I'm going to need to, you know, kind of ultimately finish the car, and kind of got those things set aside here. So yeah, spent some time doing that, going through his stuff, and again, seeing what he has and what might be missing. So that was basically my day. I want to thank a few of our viewers. So you guys, if you watch the channel regularly, you know that yesterday I sort of announced that our merchandise shop has finally gone live. So thank you for the patience on the behalf of those of you who have been asking for a long time for me to have merchandise. Thank you guys for waiting, and I finally have it. And so I wanted to say a special thanks to Stu, Rick, Liza, not sure how you pronounce your name. Let me know how that's pronounced. And John for ordering some swag from the website. So yeah, you guys were my first 4 customers to buy vintage classic merchandise. So thank you guys very much. Take a look at our website. I will continue, I guess, to put the merchandise shop link in the description of the videos just so it's easily accessible. And yesterday, I think it was, I added the coffee mug, which I had made one of before, but there was a few things I wasn't happy with. So this is available now. It's 15 ounces, which pretty much holds what I consider a good full cup of coffee. So this is now my official coffee mug that I'm using every morning here. Drink about 2 cups of coffee in the morning once I get to the shop, about 1 cup in the morning before I come into the shop with my breakfast. So yeah, I'm about 3 cups in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. So this pup is going to be getting a lot of use. So if you like drinking coffee and you like the way our artwork looks, then you can pick one of these up. And I do have plans for making other shirt designs and stuff like that. So keep your eyes on the shop. Anyway, so that would be it for today, everyone. Thank you again, guys, for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.